Again, I'm Jonny. I use he, him pronouns, and I stepped forward to be the chair of Stewardship campaign this year. You've already seen by Compass, you've already seen by email that the theme for this year is UUCP to me. And so I'm going to give a short testimonial. I'm going to invite Gabby Amade up here to give a short testimonial, and then later in the service we'll discuss a little bit more about the operations. But quite simply, the idea behind the theme for this year is, what does UUCP mean to me? What does it mean to me? How does it allow me to take my journey in life and be able to make that impact in the world that I would assume all of you want to make as big of an impact as I do. And so if you read the Stewardship emails that came out, there was an invitation to record a short video, and there will be a sub-channel on our YouTube station sharing everybody's point of view on what UUCP means to them. Rev Christine and I met back in August and started discussing this, and we actually first used the term level up, which is the title of today's service, that this is the year we can level up. We can really move forward with a lot of energy. And this theme has been bouncing through my head for the past 6 or 7 months. What does UUCP mean to me? And I could name 1,000 little things. But the bottom line is that during that time, I had some interesting challenges at work, many successes, some near misses, some interesting HR issues, and all that other stuff that we all do. And so I started thinking about the proverbial plate. The proverbial plate that we all carry our stuff on. That plate that we have our responsibilities, our acts, our to-dos on. And how do we fill up our plate? How do we use our plate? The bottom line is, sometimes you can stretch the plate. You can swap out a tea saucer for a side plate. You can swap out the side plate for a dinner plate, the dinner plate for a platter. And then the question becomes, how do you hold your plate? Does your plate sit aside on a pedestal waiting for you to fill it up? Do you stretch it? Do you pull it? Do you balance it? How do you deal with it? And the bottom line is, you start filling up your plate with all the tasks and responsibilities. For those of you that don't know, I'm the Wire UU lead mentor here. I serve on the board. I run a research lab. I have 3 kids, a dog, a house, just 1 mortgage, thankfully, a couple cars, air conditioners that do the same thing that our UUCP air conditioner does. And at some point you have to decide, do I stack things on my plate? Do I shift them to the side? And when you take into account all of UUCP, you wonder, what does UUCP mean to me? Where do I put it? Rev Christine has preached before on liminal space. So one way to think about it is that UUCP fills all the gaps between all those items on your plate. And that wasn't sufficient. And really, to me, what UUCP is, and we've all had these rocks at some point, these worry stones, UUCP actually sits underneath the plate in an interesting way. It sits under the plate at the center of balance for me, so that it actually exerts a force on everything in my life. Whether I'm thinking about how to deal with the repair person for my air conditioner, or how to deal with an HR issue at work, or how to deal with finances, or how to deal with recycling or not recycling, UUCP exerts a uniform force. And that's what UUCP means to me. I carry it into everything that I do. And interestingly, when you envision your plate like this, basically a plate sitting on a stone that's UUCP, it resembles a chalice. And so we take that with us as well. And I hope that you can take some time and think deeply about what UUCP means to you and how it affects your life. And part of stewardship this year is that we're asking everybody to make a commitment statement, so that, as Benji and Rev Christine have already said, we would say that I commit to be present and accountable for the care and the preservation of UUCP, and that I consent to be counted amongst the members and friends of UUCP.